Let us turn the Bibles to Matthew chapter 5, verses 13 to 16.
You are the salt of the earth, but if the salt loses its saltness, how can it be made salty again? It is not longer good for anything except to be thrown out of trampled underfoot. You are the light of the world. A town built on the hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds, and glorify your Father in heaven.
Yeah. So, there are two examples that Christ has given us in this teaching in Matthew chapter 5, verse 13 to 16. He says, Christians, you are the salt and the light. Two analogies. We are called to be the salt and light of this world. So we usually, we usually tend to think that we have heard these messages about salt and light, and that's okay. Yes, we have heard a lot of times. But you see, the salt and light have very peculiar qualities. They have peculiar identities. These identities and responsibilities have been adjoined to Christians. They have been attributed to Christians. Why did Christ use salt and light to the followers of Jesus? So, in order to convey the truth of the message, he used the salt and the light to the people that followed him. So he is expecting us to be the salt and light of this world. So he is challenging each and every one to become the salt and light of this world. But what is his intention of saying that we are the salt and light? What does he want to convey to us? I think we have to dwell deep into the thought that Jesus has conveyed to us in his famous Sermon on the Mount. Now he is giving us a lot of scenario. The scenario is very simple. He is saying to us that we are living in a world where there is a moral decay, naitikamayna patanam. There is a moral decay. There is an immorality that is just flourishing around us. Now we can see a lot of immorality around us everywhere, in every aspect of our Christian walk in the world. We see there is a moral decay. Now, in this scenario, in this context, Jesus is expecting us to become the salt and light of this world. They are not merely suggestions. They are not merely recommendations. They are not merely, okay, just be like this. No. They are the commands that Christ has given us. They are, in fact, just not metaphors, but they are the commands. Jesus is commanding us to be the salt and to be the light. So he is saying, you are the salt of the earth. Now, what is the quality of the salt? The salt is having the quality of preservation. Salt preserves. It preserves. You put salt in anything. In the olden days, we used salt to preserve pickles. We used salt to preserve eatables, the edibles. We used salt to preserve anything. Okay, in the olden days, salt is used to preserve. Now, Jesus is expecting us to preserve something that he has given us. What is he expecting us to preserve? He is giving us the instructions to preserve the truth, to preserve the righteousness. He is expecting us to preserve the righteousness that is not found in the society. When we look around the world, everywhere there is corruption, everywhere there is a moral decay, everywhere we see that children, old people, young people, even the middle aged people, everyone is doing as they like. There is no moral anchor to them, there is no morality within them. Everybody is doing as they like. Now, we as Christians, when we are called to follow Jesus, the expectation is that we should live as a preservers of the society. We should preserve the society with righteousness, with morality, with the truth. And Jesus is telling us in another portion of the Bible, he is telling us that do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. He is telling us we should not be conformed to the patterns of this world, but we, as the salt of this earth, we should preserve the society with the truth. So there is a great responsibility over Christians. The responsibility is to preserve the society in a decaying scenario. We should preserve the society when there is immorality all around us. So the question is, are we preserving truth in our workplaces? Are we preserving the truth in our families? Are we preserving the truth in our school? Are we preserving the truth wherever we may be? How are we preserving the truth? Secondly, the quality of the salt enhances flavor. If there is no salt, you will not taste the food. So, when you put a little bit of salt, it enhances the flavor. It enhances. It gives a good flavor, right? It gives a wonderful taste or touch to the delicacy that you have made. So, salt adds flavor, and without it, the food is dull. The food is nothing. So a believer's life should add value. We should add meaning to the riches that we find in the society. A believer should add meaning and value. In Colossians 4:6 says, "Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt." Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt. And are we drawing people to the flavor of Christ? Are we drawing people to the richness of the truth? Are we involving in society by adding value and meaning? Are we, wherever we may be placed, are we adding flavor of Christ to the society? So, thirdly, there is a warning that is given to us. The warning is, if the salt loses its saltiness, if the salt loses its saltiness. You know, salt sometimes can be very, very effective. At the same time, it can be very ineffective. Okay? It can be very ineffective if it is not used. If you put salt in a corner, over time, it can lose its taste. Over time, over years, if it is dull, if it is left unused, it can be it can be made unsalty. And finally, if the salt loses its saltiness, it has no purpose. It has no meaning. The only thing we can do is just to pick it up and throw it in the dustbin. Okay? So salt losing its saltiness is a warning to all the Christians. So salt, as much as it is delicious, it can also be contaminated and becomes useless. The father of our nation, Mr. Gandhiji, Mahatma Gandhiji has said that he likes Christianity and the Christ, he likes Christ, but he doesn't like the Christians expressly because Christians do not exhibit Christ's values. Because we don't live according to Christ's values, he doesn't like Christians. But Mahatma Gandhi loved Christ, but he did not like the Christians. So what is the problem? Why did Gandhiji say that he doesn't like Christians? Because he has found that most of the Christians have not followed Christ. They have not become the salt of this earth. They have not become the light of this earth. So salt, if it becomes contaminated, salt, like Christians, if it is left over, if it is left aside, if it is left unused, it means that it gets compromised to the patterns and to the worldly values which have no meaning in a Christian life. So a Christian who compromises their credibility, or a Christian who compromises their meaning or their purpose of living on this earth cannot have any impact in the society. So, what should we do? We should guard our integrity. We should guard our testimony. Only then we can add flavor to the society. So we are warned that we should not become useless by not using what we are, by not exhibiting, by not living up to what we are called to. Secondly, the second example he gives us is, you are the light of this world. The very nature of light is it dispels darkness. The very nature of light is it exposes darkness, it dispels the darkness. Wherever there is a flicker of light, it gives us a lot of hope. Okay? The thing is, we cannot walk in the dark. We cannot see anything in the dark. We cannot do anything in the dark. We will do everything only when there is light. So light, in fact, helps us to see. Life makes things visible. So the very nature of light is it dispels darkness. It helps us to see clearly. So Christians ought to live such a life that we reveal the truth that we are born of. We are born with the truth. We are not born out of human beings biologically, but we are born spiritually. We are born of the Spirit. We are born of the Holy Spirit. We are not born because of human will. We are born because the Holy Spirit came upon us and we have accepted Jesus Christ. And so we have been adopted in the family of God. We have been taken as the sons and daughters of God. So we are born of God. We are born of the Spirit. So we have an inner truth that should not be hidden. The truth must always be, be exhibited. The truth must always reveal itself. So he says that if a light is put on the top of a mountain and if it is hidden, suppose you take a lantern or you take a torchlight and you cover it with a cloth, will it show the light? It will not show the light, right? Can anybody see? No, nobody can see because you have covered the light. We as Christians, we are born of the truth, we are born of the Spirit, and we should never cover the truth that is born in us. We have a truth. The truth is Jesus Christ. The truth is Christ living in us. The truth is God dwells in us. Most of the time we don't reveal the truth. We keep it hidden. But what is the purpose? Jesus says, if you take the light and put it on the top of the mountain and cover it. We as Christians, we are like that. We are not revealing the truth, and we are not able to guide the people. So my question is, are we helping others by revealing the truth that is in us? Another characteristic of the light is it is visible and it is intentional. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. That is a contradiction that Christ gives. A hidden light is a contradiction. It defeats its purpose. A hidden light. Can a light be hidden? Why should it be hidden? If it is hidden, then why should you put on the light? Right? If you are not using the light, what is the purpose of switching it on? Right? So the problem with Christians is we have been born of the truth, but we are hiding the truth. We are covering the truth. We are not living by it. But Jesus expects us to live publicly, not privately. Most of us, we live the Christian life very, very privately. It is a private religion. It is a private, it is a private affair. If we are living with Christ, if you are talking to Christ, if you are praying with Christ, we feel that we are okay with that. We feel that we are spiritual and we live according to Christ's word. But that is not what Jesus is saying. He is saying a light that is hidden on a city, set on a city hill, cannot be hidden. A light that is there on the hill, if it is hidden, it loses its purpose. So Jesus expects us to live our faith publicly but not privately. So my question is, are we intentionally hiding the light? Are we intentionally hiding the truth? And the other purpose of Christ's light is to glorify God. He says in verse 16, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. Let your light shine before others. As Christians, we are expected to do good works, not just for ourselves, not just to show people, but to glorify God. Light always brings glory. Light is always shining. So our deeds must always shine not to ourselves, but to God. So our influence should cause others to worship Christ. Our influence should always point out to Christ. Our influence should always cause others to seek the Lord. So my challenge today, this morning, to all of us is your life leading others to glorify God? Is our life leading others to thank God? Is our life so exemplary that we can refute what Mahatma Gandhi has said, that he loves Christ but does not like the Christians? Can we as Christians say that we can become the salt and light of this world? Jesus didn't say, try to be a salt and try to be a light. No, they have an inner quality. The very quality of the salt, the very quality of the light are not borrowed entities. They are not borrowed qualities, but they are having the very qualities. So Jesus is expecting us to be the salt and light of this world. And the warnings are very clear. Don't lose your saltiness and don't hide your light. So let us accept the call to flavor the world with Christian morals and to reveal the truth with the Christian light and shine brightly in this dark world. I hope this message has found you well, and I hope that this message revealed the truth that we are called to be the salt and the light of this world. So, my questions are, where is God calling us to be the light and to be the salt? Where is God calling us? Wherever we are placed, we are called to be the preservers of the truth and His goodness. And in what areas have we hidden the light around us? And what specific action that we should take to transform that place or that scenario or that behavior or a habit where we become not just by uh, where we become where we don't conform to the pattern of this world, but we become the very salt and light of this earth. So I want to call all Christians, the followers of Jesus, to be the salt and light of this world this morning. God bless you and thank you. Let us bow our heads and pray.